what's up, guys? Clay here with Top One Trader, and let's dive into the weekly outlook for the week. We're going to talk about the dollar. We're going to talk about gold. Gold made some moves today, kind of pulling back. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. But first, let's dive into the calendar for the week. So it is the first week of May. Well, Thursday, May 1st, and Friday, May 2nd. So, of course, with it being the first week of the month, we have NFP on Friday. Interestingly enough, usually there's Canadian data on Friday, but not this month. So, something I'm particularly interested in is the Bank of Japan policy rate. Now, I remember 2-3 years ago, Bank of Japan, everybody knew it'd be low interest rates, and it was really not even a factor. But things have changed in the past couple of years, and as I recall, these are we end up seeing a lot of movement in the market for the Bank of Japan. So now, if we take a look at Wednesday, Canadian GDP, of course, we have the employment cost index, advanced GDP for the dollar, and some inflation data out of Australia on Tuesday. And it's worth noting, Australia has an election Friday, but markets will be closed. Nothing's going to be going on by the time that goes down. Probably. I don't know. You never know with the election. So, and then some retail sales and stuff. Oh, excuse me. And that's pretty election on Monday for Canada as well. So should be interesting, the upcoming elections. But now if we look into the charts, what I wanted to talk about was gold, right? So we had this huge rally, and if you know my trading at all, you'll be able to identify what I'm about to say, probably. Now this to me looks a lot like a bear flag pattern, right? So it's one of my favorite setups to trade, and I'll show you an example here in a second. But here is the flag pole, right? And here's the pullback, the consolidation area, and generally the length of the pullback is equal to the size of the flagpole, right? So just like this, which would take us down to some pretty good key levels. It would take us down to support at 3,200, right at 3,200. So nice, pretty round number, 3,200 for gold. Still pretty expensive. But I want to show you too. Look at this. Here is a bull flag pattern, the inverse of it, right? So if I go from here to here and then mark it down, right? There we go. You can see there's the flag. Here is the pole. Boom. And then you can see the follow through. So we'll make just two of those. Measure them right next to each other, and pretty spot on depending where you wanted to place that, right? So now when you tie all that together, then you see a big head and shoulder pattern here. So you can really see it the way it is with these flags, but that makes a lot of sense. So interesting numbers, especially for gold, seeing how much it was rallying. We can take a look at the dollar pairs though. Euro USD still holding up fairly well. I mean, I would say pretty well despite this pullback earlier in the week. You can take a look at pound dollar, right? Still pretty strong. But in the scenario that I just showed you, if price pulls down for, say gold drops, dollar strengthens, there is a lot of room here for some deeper pullbacks. Will we make it that far? Hard to tell, right? So Aussie holding up pretty strong. Now, if we take a look at some of these yen pairs, I got in long on AJ earlier in the week, and it's making some pretty strong moves, and we have some interesting levels. Here's a little gap. They could be looking to get filled. We're seeing a lot of weakness out of the pound. Out of the yen. And some clear targets. If we're looking for these gaps, price to fill those gaps, it's like that pretty much. Maybe not so much on euro yen. Yep, actually there it is right here, and it's filling the gap, right? So that's interesting. And then if we go to NZD-JPY, just filled the gap, right? So GJ has not. I think this would be a good opportunity. There's CAD. Don't see the gap there for CAD yen. But AJ, it's right in your face, right? So I really like that setup. If we take a look at some of the crossings here, GA has been going sideways on support, very, very choppy. Pound New Zealand, looking very, not very bearish, but looking pretty bearish. But I will say Euro New Zealand, I took a few trades on this past week, and it looks like this downtrend is pretty strong. So what I take from that is that we have a lot of NZD New Zealand strength and potentially some Aussie strength coming around the corner, which that correlates with gold. And you can see that here. So if we get a pullback and a move up off this level of support, then we could see some big moves out of the Aussie as well. So that being said, let's have a great week, everybody. We appreciate y'all. Good luck in the markets.